The exhibition is about a history of domestic living, covering the last 100 years by 20 examples, 20 case studies.
This is a large topic with many questions, so we wanted to focus on specific interiors that are representative of larger shifts and changes.
We decided to tell this story backwards, so not chronologically but retrospectively. I think a big topic today is that domestic space has become a valuable resource. So space is an issue, how to make the most of it, how to use space efficiently. Another topic is sustainability and energy concepts.
The 1960s to the 1980s are really the decades of interior design. We're breaking with existing conventions, with existing ideas, so from family structures to the idea that everything is interior design.
In the 1960s, the society in the Western world becomes more affluent and hence also more mobile, more agile, and architects start to think about mobile living structures. At the same time experimenting with plastic to make the dream of a prefab house come true. Another interesting example in the 1960s is the emergence of loft living, coming from New York, where the industry had moved out of Manhattan and artists moved into these empty storage or factory buildings and had these vast open spaces. Andy Warhol's Silver Factory was a good example for that. I found it fascinating because it was a place of living and working at the same time, of artistic production, filming, photographing, and also an early example of a completely mediated space that was published a lot by these works of photographers and these films. In the 1950s, the home interior became political because the question of living standards was a big issue in the fight between communism and capitalism between Americans and Russians. And there was an incident called the kitchen debate where Khrushchev and Nixon had a discussion in front of an American kitchen to discuss living standards.
In the 1950s and 1960s, there's a continuous exchange between indoors and outdoors, especially in architectural perspectives. One great example of the relationship between indoors and outdoors is Lina Bo Bardi's Casa de Vidro in Brazil. Due to the open floor planning of the house and its large window panels, nature became a backdrop to the interior and almost a decoration to the interior, and on the other hand, it really became part of the inside.
We chose the 1920s as a starting point because we felt that after the upheavals and the terrors of World War I and the upheavals of the Russian Revolution, there was a new thinking about space. The open floor plan was introduced into the home, the likes of Mies van der Rohe and Le Corbusier, Joseph Frank and Adolf Loos also thought about new ways of designing the domestic space. Many of these examples here do have a kind of liberating moment to them, and so I hope that will help to trigger a discourse on domestic living and if what is available today still reflects what is really needed.
This topic is urgent, it's always been urgent, it's a topic we can all relate to. Living says so much about who we are as individuals, but also as a society at large. So this is something that's close to all of us.